with a shocking surprise. They noticed there was a huge
Hey,
dent in the
yo!
notebook.
5 NBA mysteries we always wanted to know the answer to. Let's see how this
I'm
thing
sure
turn
we
out,
can
man.
all agree. There's just something about a good mystery that is very enticing. They
Facts.
cause you to want to go search for the answer until you find it. And of
Facts.
course, the NBA has plenty of mysteries that are just waiting to be solved. So today, we just might go ahead and solve some of them. If that sounds good to you, then stick around and enjoy the video.
We here for it. Let's
What
get it.
do students in school, people at the office, players on the b-ball court, and
Fake Larry
gamers
Bird.
all have in common? They've all yelled,
Kobe!
whether it's throwing a crumpled up piece of paper in the trash can, releasing a shot during a pickup game, or while chucking a grenade in your favorite video game. We've all channeled our inner Kobe as we did something that involved accuracy.
Facts.
When the world just started filming themselves and being like, Kobe! Like, did it blow
Nah, it's
your mind
facts.
how big did that guy?
Yeah.
I used to always do that too.
That must be crazy for you. Like, I can't imagine seeing little kids scream Max when they shoot it.
It's funny, man. It's a good feeling to have that you influence the game like that. Even
R.I.P. to Mamba,
shooting in
man.
trash cans. I mean, I try to do it too, and I try to yell Kobe when I shoot it in the trash can, but it doesn't really work.
So,
Depending on your age, you might have yelled Jordan if you happen to be on the
Nah.
older side, or even Curry if you're on the
Kids
younger
nowadays
side.
yelling Curry.
But by and
Shit.
large, yelling Kobe out loud was the phrase to use.
Yep.
It's pretty obvious why people yell Kobe after shooting something, but have you ever wondered where it originated? Okay, probably not, but I'ma tell you anyways. Alright, so
Okay.
believe it or not, some say that Dave Chappelle actually started it. Let's go all the way back to 2003, when Season 1, Episode 12 aired. And in that episode, Chappelle did a skit explaining how to pay homage to certain players.
You're under arrest. Rasheed Wallace. Spreewell.
what's that?
Paul Pierce.
Don't fake behind the eyes.
So this begs the question, was this the very first time somebody used the famous Kobe phrase?
Kobe.
Nah, hold up now.
Well, there's no way to know for sure, but I will say this. That episode definitely gave it a boost in pop culture.
Hold up
After
now.
that, people really started using it. It's also been said that people used to use the phrase as far back as 1999
1999?
in the game Counter-Strike. That's pretty crazy considering how long ago that was. All in all, although there may not be a concrete source to point to, I still think it's interesting to think about where it possibly originated from. I'm sure I'm not the only one kinda confused about Andre Drummond's nickname, the Big Penguin.
Who calls
it's
him that?
probably the most bizarre nickname in
Big
the
the
game
big
today.
penguin.
Andre Drummond, Andre the Giant, or as he's referred to, the Big Penguin. That's his nickname.
What?
right?
Whoever calls
When I
him that?
first heard it, I was like, why did he choose to go with that? Well, actually, he didn't choose it. In fact, he says he has no idea where the nickname came from.
Listen, man, I don't know where that came from. Bron came up to me one day and said, yo, is your nickname Big Penguin? I said, man, I don't know where that came from or how it started or who came up with the name. All I know is somebody must have found out that penguins are one of my favorite animals, and they kind of just, I guess,
tough.
put two and two together.
He claims
Kinda do
to
look like
not
a
know
penguin,
how
though, I
he
ain't
got
gonna lie
that
to you.
name,
Penguin
but
looking
that
at-
just doesn't add up. He was clearly not telling the truth, and
He looks
here's why.
suspicious.
Back in 2012, which was his rookie year, Drummond sat down with Greg Monroe for an interview, and perhaps
That
this
nigga
is
smuggling.
when and where the Big Penguin was born.
Top three favorite movies of all time. You probably gonna look at me like I'm crazy as I tell you these three. My number one probably be March of the Penguins, and then Happy Feet 1 and 2.
I'm guessing you love penguins.
My favorite animal family.
Well, obviously my favorite animal is a moose, so maybe we start calling the Big Penguin. Maybe we start calling the Big
Ah,
Penguin.
see, it's right there. See, you know where that nickname came from, my boy.
So boom, it looks like we solved the mystery of the nickname's origin.
Yeah.
Even though Andre Drummond, for some reason, seems to have forgotten all about that.
He ain't forget
Not
he
too
cat.
long ago, like I would say early 2020,
Hold up.
Colin
So this-
Sexton of the Cleveland Cavaliers was catching some eyes, but not for his play on the court. People started to notice something strange about his face, which caused many to hop on social media to ask about what was possibly going on, and they immediately jumped to conclusions. They accused the man of bleaching his skin, you know,
That's-
just
they're
like
like
Sammy
it.
Sosa did. I mean, just look at this before and after picture. There was definitely a drastic change of some sort, and it looked like it was only happening to his face and didn't match the rest of his body, which meant there was probably a simpler explanation. Some say that it was apparently related to an acne treatment he was using, and that
Possible.
there was no reason why people should be freaking out at all. It was just temporary. Regardless, it seemed to have zero effect on his play, because he actually played great during that particular stretch, even though there was something definitely being done to alter his skin tone. For many years, there was this legendary rumor going around that Dikembe Mutombo would walk into nightclubs and simply shout, "Who wants to sex Mutombo?"
What?
as a pickup line to get girls. And eventually, the phrase took on a life of its own and became somewhat of a meme. The rumor never stopped following Mutombo, so he had to put this to an end once and for all when he made an appearance on the show Highly Questionable back in 2014.
Is it true that Dikembe Mutombo used to walk in his heyday, in the glory days of his life, used to walk into a nightclub? You know what I'm going to ask too. Used to walk into a place and say,
Don't believe on that crack. I know where you're going with that. I know
there.
Yeah, you know you been doing it. You know you been doing it.
that's not
always
true?
ask everybody who came up with that.
Oh, it's so
First of all,
disappointing.
Dikembe straight up denied it, so we had no choice but to take his word for it. But not so fast. That didn't stop them from asking one more time when Dikembe's former Georgetown teammate Alonzo Mourning made an appearance on the show a short time later, and his answer was a lot different.
Who wants to sex Mutombo?
You've heard it. You've heard it, haven't
Is the
you?
story true? We need to know if the story is true.
You've heard it before.
That's a confirmation.
Yeah, there's some truth to that.
See, she exposed them.
And it worked. It worked too.
Yo.
Now, of course it makes sense for Mutombo to deny it. I mean, that's what you would expect to hear from him. But for Alonzo Mourning, he had nothing to gain or lose from this at all. So that's why I choose to believe him. He had no hesitation confirming it. Back in October of 2017, the Oklahoma City Thunder were headed to their next game, and as usual, experienced some turbulence here and there throughout the flight. But when they landed, they were left with a shocking surprise. They noticed there was a huge dent in the nose of the plane, and pondered about what possibly could have caused this. It was said that it was likely a bird that caused the damage, which are known to collide with aircrafts. But others say that it was no bird at all, because most birds aren't even capable of flying that high.
Delta is saying that a bird is what caused this damage on the descent.
They hit a flying saucer.
I don't believe them, Jalen Rose. There's only one explanation for this. This proves that UFOs exist.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, they obviously hit something in the sky, but I guess we'll never know, as this mystery will remain unsolved.
Nah, they ain't no bird, my G. They ain't no bird though, my G. But hey, man, let me know if y'all want some more of these videos, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you watch this right now, appreciate you. See you in the next video, bro.